Meanwhile, the parliamentary opposition continues its broadside against the new Andrew Holness administration. The opposition People's National Party, PNP, says the Holness administration did not speak the truth about its plans to finance its $1.5 million tax break promise. According to opposition spokesman on finance, Dr. Peter Phillips, the JLP knew before the February 25, 2016 general election that there was no available monies to fund its election promise.
Way of financing it, which they proclaimed during the elections, does not exist. For one thing, I mean, there was this cockamamie story about looking for hedge funds. It was a non-existent source on February 24th, on January 31st. It is non-existent now, and they knew it certainly from November of last year, if not before. Right? And the idea that you could fiddle around other things in the budget did not exist then and doesn't exist now. So, if they are going to do something for persons on PAYE, what seems to be clear is that the entire rest of the country, including the PAYE people, are going to have to pay for it. So it's like giving with one hand and taking back with two.
Dr. Peter Phillips argues that while a tax break isn't an entirely bad proposal, the government should instead focus on reducing the debt, which will ensure more Jamaicans have more to spend.
What is apparent is that the specific commitments given, that it would not involve any additional taxation, appear to have been breached. And that is evident both in the numbers that are available in the documents that have been submitted, but even more so in what has been said by the IMF Chief of Mission, because they have indicated that we must give priority, and good sense dictates that we must give priority to continuing the debt reduction path on which we were embarked, precisely because that is the only sustainable way to provide jobs and secure sustained economic growth.
Meanwhile, Dr. Phillips says no member of the government has reached out to the opposition to discuss the feasibility of the tax break proposal. He was responding to a suggestion raised by co-chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, Richard Biles, that there should be a meeting of the minds between the opposition and the government. He also suggested that the tax relief be postponed until the government is in a better financial position.
Put it this way. Mr. Biles is a wonderful person, but he doesn't speak for the government. I have received no request from the government to speak about this matter. Indeed, subsequent to Mr. Biles speaking, we have been told by, I believe, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance that they have it covered. But the truth is, they need to speak clearly to the country. What is being said in Washington by the Fund Chief of Mission should not be said to the Jamaican people by somebody in Washington. The government needs to man up and talk to the Jamaican people clearly in unambiguous terms, because they were very clear and talkative when they were making the commitments and campaigning.